There's a reason old money outfits always look better, and it has nothing to do with the price tag. It's the colors, and 90% of guys get them wrong. Today, we're going to be breaking down every single color in the old money playbook, what it means, how the elite wear it, and exactly how you can pair it to look 10 times more put together without saying a word. Stick around. The last two colors are the ones that most guys skip, and they are the real power moves. The foundation, neutrals. These aren't just safe colors, they're strategic. Neutrals like beige, cream, stone, and taupe form the backbone of every old money wardrobe. They signal restraint, they offer versatility, and they allow for effortless layering. Men like Gianni Agnelli, Prince Michael of Kent, and David Beckham, especially in his more traditional looks, have all used these tones to build consistent, composed outfits. What sets them apart is their refusal to rely on statement pieces. Everything is designed to harmonize, not stand out. A classic example is the summer estate look. A cream linen button-down, open at the collar, paired with high-waisted pleated taupe trousers. On the feet, brown suede loafers, soft, matte, and quiet. Add a slim tan leather belt and a vintage gold watch, and the look is complete. Every item belongs to the same warm neutral family. There's no sharp contrast, just seamless blending. The rule here is simple. Limit yourself to 3 tones in one outfit. Choose one anchor, like beige, and then add 2 close relatives, like ivory and sand. These palettes reflect discretion, a core old money value. According to a study, 73% of people aged 30 to 60 associate subdued tones with higher sophistication. Gianni Agnelli, for example, often wore beige flannel suits with crisp white shirts. Never bright, never patterned. He let texture do the work. That's the rule. Softer suits, lighter shirts, no loud ties. If your wardrobe starts here, you will never make a loud mistake. Beige isn't boring, it's bulletproof. Naval legacy. Navy and white is a core old money palette because it signals discipline, heritage, and restraint. It's worn by men like Cary Grant, Prince William, and Ralph Lauren. Not for flash, but for uniformity. The roots go back to naval officers and boarding school codes, and it stayed relevant because it projects order without shouting for attention. A typical old money pairing would be a crisp white Oxford shirt with tailored navy chinos or trousers. No break at the ankle, minimal taper. Footwear stays classic. Brown penny loafers or white canvas sneakers. You can layer with a soft-shouldered navy blazer, preferably with brass or horn buttons. Keep accessories minimal. A silver cufflink or a vintage watch at most. This palette works because the contrast is clean but not aggressive. And never mix navy with black. It flattens both. Instead, pair navy with cream, stone, or soft white for balance. According to a 2022 survey, navy is the most preferred suit color among men over 35, with over 60% choosing it for its timeless quality. Ralph Lauren built his entire image on this. Navy cashmere, white trousers, and suede loafers. No trends, no loud prints, just consistency. That's the takeaway. Stick to sharp, bright whites and deep navy. It's less about variety and more about repeatability. Olive, brown, and forest green. Earth tones, olive, brown, and forest green, are the backbone of British countryside dressing, which has heavily influenced old money style for over a century. These colors come from function, tweeds, wax jackets, and hunting gear designed to blend into rural surroundings. But in old money circles, they're not just practical, they're traditional. Worn by figures like Prince Charles, the Duke of Beaufort, and designer Luca Cordero di Montezemolo, these tones signal a connection to land, legacy, and restraint. A proper old money outfit in this palette might start with an olive field jacket or a brown herringbone sport coat. Underneath, a fine gauge cashmere crewneck in forest green or beige. Trousers are typically heavier. Think tan corduroy or gray flannel. Shoes are rugged but refined. Dark brown brogues, suede chukkas, or leather boots, all matte finished. The secret here is texture. Earth tones work best when combined with natural fabrics like wool, moleskin, and suede. Never wear these colors in synthetics or shiny finishes. It kills the heritage effect. Pair no more than 3 tones in a single look, and keep accessories like belts and bags in matching brown leather. These colors aren't urban. They belong in country estates, weekend escapes, and hunting lodges. When you wear them, you're signaling roots, not reach. You're not trying to look rich. You're dressing like wealth was never a question to begin with. Academic contrast. Gray and burgundy form one of the most underused but most powerful old money palettes. These colors are pulled directly from academic and institutional dress. Think British universities, Ivy League campuses, and private club uniforms. Gray represents structure and logic. Burgundy adds quiet depth and distinction. Together, they give you contrast without flash. This is the palette of intellectual wealth. Quiet, cerebral, controlled. Here's a classic example. A mid-gray flannel suit or sport coat, worn over a white Oxford or pale blue button-down. Add a burgundy knit tie, or better yet, a cashmere v-neck in a deep wine tone. Trousers can stay in the gray family, either matching or a shade lighter. Footwear, polished oxblood derbies or deep brown suede loafers. The key is to avoid anything glossy. Matte finishes keep it old money. This palette also thrives in colder months. A charcoal overcoat with a burgundy scarf is more effective than any logo-heavy designer piece. According to a 2021 report, gray and burgundy were among the top 3 most frequently used tones in so-called legacy wardrobes that were passed down through generations, especially in tailoring and outerwear. Take cues from men like Alain Delon, or even early-era George Clooney. They wore gray not as filler, but as a foundation. Burgundy in their wardrobes wasn't used to pop, it was used to ground. That's the rule. Use gray for structure and burgundy for richness. Together, they tell people you read more than you spend. Summer nobility. White, cream, and powder blue make up the summer palette of old money, seen in Mediterranean villas, polo matches, and French Riviera coastlines. These colors are soft, sun-washed, and nonchalant. They suggest ease, not effort. They're not chosen to stand out, but to blend into settings where wealth is assumed. Think of men like Lapo Elkan, Pablo Picasso in his later years, or JFK on Hyannis port docks, all dressed in pale layers that reflect light and status without a trace of flash. Start with a cream linen shirt, relaxed collar, slightly oversized, sleeves casually rolled. Pair that with white or ivory pleated trousers, cut wide but tailored through the waist. Powder blue enters through a lightweight cotton sweater, a collared shirt, or even a subtle striped dress shirt layered under cream. Loafers or espadrilles in tan suede or light brown leather finish the look. No belts unless they're barely visible. The silhouette should flow. The key here is to lean into natural fabrics, linen, cotton, and unlined suede. These colors demand texture to avoid looking clinical. Powder blue is especially useful. It softens the starkness of white and adds just enough tone to break uniformity. This palette works best when it's slightly rumpled, never pressed, never stiff. It's not formal wear, it's privilege expressed in comfort. Every element should feel lived in, but intentional. When done right, this color story doesn't say luxury, it says freedom. Freedom of time, movement, and legacy. And finally, cold weather authority. When temperatures drop, the old money style gets sharper, and the palette shifts into what we would call cold weather authority. Charcoal, camel, and deep navy. These aren't just winter colors, they are dominance in disguise. Worn by men like King Felipe of Spain, early Tom Ford, or Daniel Day-Lewis off-screen, this trio commands respect without ever needing to shout. Charcoal is the foundation. Stronger than gray, less severe than black. A well-cut charcoal overcoat or double-breasted blazer instantly signals seriousness. Deep navy adds richness and depth, used in cashmere rollnecks, knit polos, or flannel trousers. Camel, on the other hand, is your accent color. It breaks up the darkness with warmth, especially in a brushed wool coat or scarf. The go-to outfit? A charcoal wool trouser, a navy knit top, and a camel wrap coat layered over. Keep textures rich, flannel, cashmere, suede, and the shoes polished but never patent. A deep brown leather boot or oxblood loafer works perfectly here. Accessories stay muted. A gray cashmere beanie, tortoiseshell sunglasses, and a brown leather strap watch. The contrast between charcoal and camel gives the look its depth. According to the 2023 Heritage Style Archive, this trio appears most often in city tailoring pieces worn by European industrialist families. Coats, scarves, and trousers passed down between generations. This palette isn't cozy, it's controlled. It tells the world that you're prepared, precise, and never overdressed. It's winter elegance designed not for comfort, but for command. You don't need to be born into wealth to dress like you were. Just understand the language. These are the colors that have stood the test of time. And now you know how to wear them. Like, subscribe, and comment on which palette you want a full outfit breakdown on next. We'll build it, piece by piece.